Om Namah Shivaya, Asenest Fire, here on the way of Dharma. Let us offer incense first to the Lord of Lords, Lord Surya. Om Sum Suryaya Namaha. Om Sum Suryaya Namaha. Om Sum Suryaya Namaha. In today's video, we will be talking about the most important of all devas, the most important of all grahas, Lord Surya. If you are new over here, please make sure that you do subscribe, make sure that you do like, and if it's something that you want to share with someone, do hit the share button and make sure that you share. So today's video, we are going to talk about Surya, also known as the sun, and I will try to show you that it's all the same entity throughout. The best thing about this is that the sun can be seen by everyone and has a name in each and every tradition and culture under the fears of the earth, under the sun, basically. So today we are going to talk about the sun, and please, this is a disclaimer. The content that is shared here on the channel, I will not be held liable for any bad results that you might encounter from using the sadhanas and the mantras. This is not there to replace your medical advice. I am not a professional. In cases where professional help is sought, please do make sure that you do consult a professional or a doctor. So yes, Asenest Fire here on the way of Dharma. Let's go into it. What is the sun? The sun is a star, or the star at the center of the solar system. It is nearly a perfect ball of hot plasma, heated to incandescence by nuclear fusion reactions in its core. It's heated to incandescence by nuclear fusion reactions in its core. The sun radiates this energy mainly as light, ultraviolet, and infrared radiation, and is the most important source of energy for life on Earth. It is the most important source of energy for life on Earth. Okay. Let me check Let me check things fast. The sun's radius is about 695,000 kilometers, or 432,000 miles, or 109 times that of the Earth. So the sun, or the Earth, goes into the sun 109 times. You need 109 times Earths to actually cover the radius of the sun. It is said that the distance from the Earth to the sun is like 108 times something. I also think this is the case with the radius of the sun. I think it's 108, but it's only my opinion, or the opinion of the mind. Yes. Its mass is about 330 times that of the Earth, comprising about 99.86 of the total mass of the solar system. Roughly 3/4 of the sun's mass consists of hydrogen, and the rest is mostly helium, with much smaller quantities of heavier elements including oxygen, carbon, neon, and iron. The sun is a G-type main sequence star. As such, it is informally and not completely accurately referred to as a yellow dwarf. Its light is actually white. You understand? It formed approximately 4.6 billion years ago from the gravitational collapse of matter within a region of a large molecular cloud. Most of this matter gathered in its center, whereas the rest flattened into an orbiting disk that became the solar system. The central mass became so hot and dense that it eventually initiated nuclear infusion in its core. It is thought that almost all stars form by this process. Okay? All stars form by this process. Let me save. Yes. All stars form by this process. Every second, the sun's core fuses about 600 million tons of hydrogen into helium, and in the process converts 4 million tons of matter into energy. 4 million tons of matter into energy. This energy, which can take between 10,000 and 170,000 to escape the core, is the source of the sun's light and heat. When hydrogen fusion in its cores has diminished to the point at which the sun is no longer in hydrostatic equilibrium, its core will undergo a marked increase in density and temperature, while its outer layers expand, eventually transforming the sun into a red giant. It is calculated that the sun will become sufficiently large to engulf the current orbits of Mercury and Venus and render Earth uninhabitable, but not for about 5 billion years. After this, it will shed its outer layers and become a denser type of cooling star known as a white dwarf, and no longer produce energy by fusion, but still glow and give off heat from its previous fusion. The enormous effect of the sun on Earth has been recognized since prehistoric times. The sun was thought of by some cultures as a deity. The synodic rotation of Earth and its orbit around the sun are the basis of some solar calendars. The predominant calendar in use today is the Gregorian calendar, which is based upon the standard 16th century interpretation of the sun's observed movement as actual movement. So yes, now we go into the part that I like. In ancient cultures, the sun was revered as a deity, because in actuality that's what it is. The sun is not just a round ball of light, a giant red ball, a thing that converts matter into energy. It's actually a conscious being. It's very much alive. It can bestow gifts unto humanity, has influence upon the earth, besides or apart from the benefits that I've mentioned. It is responsible for psychological well-being of humans. It is responsible for growth and development of consciousness of humans. It is responsible for food and livelihood of the humans. It is responsible for health of the humans. So yes, in ancient times, in ancient Egypt, the sun god is known as Ra. Ra in the Setswana language is the word used to refer to the father. So if you would say that my father, or where is your father, you would say, where is Ra, or your Ra? Okay, Ra. You understand? So in Egypt and in many African languages, you find such similarities in dialect and language. So Ra is being used to refer to as the father. Funny enough, the sun is being perceived to be a male energy, the father of all. You go back into ancient Egypt, the sun is known as Ra. And then you go back into India, you hear of the word Rama. Rama is an avatar of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is one of the holy Trimurti in Hinduism. The sun is also an avatar of Lord Vishnu, Surya, the giver of life, the preserver of life. So you see how it correlates with the attributes and characteristics of Lord Vishnu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. You understand? So, Rama is an avatar of Lord Vishnu. Rama in Vedic scriptures was referred to as the father of the solar nation, or the father of light, Rama. And then you go back into Africa, into Sesotho, into Setswana. You hear of the word Ramasedi, referring to the sun, meaning the Lord of light, or the God of light, or the Father of light. So Rama and Ramasedi, can you see the correlation? Rama was referred to as the father of the solar nation, and then Ramasedi is the father of light, or the father of the solar nation. So you see how related we are as human beings. We are not blacks. We are ancient souls. You understand? We are not Indians. We are not white people. There's a common true essence of ourselves behind each and every one of us. That's why you see all these similarities, because it is in actuality one thing. All paradoxes can be reconciled. Definitely. So you see the interrelations that we have with such. Yes, it's a message. Let me check this fast. Okay, nice. In ancient cultures, also in Greece, the sun was also revered. Also here in Africa, the most widely known evidences of it can be seen at Inzalo Yelanga, which is in Mpumalanga, also known as Adam's calendar. Also in ancient Egypt, of course, as the Lord Ra, and many other sources that can be used as evidence to verify the sun's worship, or the sun's reverence. Okay. So this is too much information that I can't unfortunately cover in this video, but I will talk about the most important that we are going to cover today. So then let's talk about the mythology of Surya from the Hindu pantheon before we go further into detail about Surya. Surya is the sun, as well as the solar deity in Hinduism. He is traditionally one of the major 5 deities in the Smarta tradition, all of whom are considered as equivalent deities in the Panchayatana Puja, and the means to realize Brahman. Brahman is the true self, the soul, basically. In other scriptures or occult information, the sun is actually referred to as Sol. If you check further in the etymological root name for Sol, you find that it is soul. And then you find a character named Solomon. Solomon, soul of man, you understand? So you see its interrelation. So the sun's relation to the soul is a very, very significant one, and I will talk about it as we speak about the benefits of Lord Surya. So, Panchayatana Puja means 5 Yatana Pujas. So, yes, and that means to realize Brahman. Other names of Surya in ancient India literature include Aditya, which is used to refer to a certain character of the sun. Arga, Bhanu, Savitri, Pushan, Ravi, Martanda Chaya, Martanda Sambhutam, Mitra, Bhaskara, Prabhakara, Kathivar Ravan, and Vivasvan. Surya is the god of the sun and the ruler of all 9 planets, all other planets. Is a graha, is a member of the Navagraha, member of the 9 planets. Other names are Aditya, Suraj, Bhaskara, Bhanu, Divakara, Surya, Narayana. Narayana is also a name that is used to refer to Lord Vishnu. You understand? So now you see that the sun is an avatar of the preserver of life in all of eternity. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. There's few mantras that are used to invoke the sun or to strengthen the sun. Now we will talk about that in a short while. The iconography of Surya is often depicted riding a chariot harnessed by horses, often 7 in number, which represent the 7 colors of visible light and the 7 days of the week. During the medieval period, Surya was worshipped in tandem with Brahma during the day, Shiva at noon, and Vishnu in the evening. In some ancient texts and art, Surya is presented syncretically with Indra, Ganesha, or others. Surya as a deity is also found in the arts and literature of Buddhism and Jainism. In the Mahabharata and Ramayana, Surya is represented as the spiritual father of Lord Rama and Karna. Surya was a primary deity in veneration by the characters of Mahabharata and Ramayana, along with Shiva. Surya is depicted with a chakra also interpreted as Dharma chakra, the wheel of righteousness. Surya is the lord of Simha, Leo, one of the 12 constellations in the zodiac system of Hindu astrology. So Simha or Narasimha is also an avatar of Lord Vishnu. So you see that these things are not a coincidence or a formulation of someone. These are all related, and Simha is also the sun, Leo. Narasimha is also Vishnu, and in that aspect protects the world, and protecting the world actually means that it preserves life of the world. The sun also preserves life of the earth, not the world, of earth, because the world is a mental system. Yes. So Vishnu is also a preserver in his primal form. Yes. Surya or Ravi is the basis of Ravivara or Sunday in the Hindu calendar. Major festivals and pilgrimages in reverence for Surya include Makar, Sankranti, yes, and all that stuff. He is particularly venerated in the Saura tradition found in Indian states such as Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, and all that stuff. Having survived as a primary deity in Hinduism longer than most of the original Vedic deities, the worship of Surya declined greatly around the 13th century, perhaps as a result of Muslim destruction of sun temples in North India. Okay, that's not something that we want to talk about. But yes, the Muslim The second white man. Anyway, yes, the Arabs. Let's talk about the benefits of the sun. The sun has benefits on earth, of course. Some benefits are known because they are physical and they are undeniable. You understand? So the sun helps a lot with our plants. The sun helps a lot with our health. The bones need the sun. The sun helps a lot with our ecosystem. The sun helps a lot with our vegetation, our crops. It helps a lot with so many things, basically. Our eye health, our physical health, entire physical health, and many other benefits which I can't mention, but it is the source of all life on the planet Earth. Shortly and simply put, it is the source of all life. Physical life, that is. And then there's a spiritual aspect to it. The sun bestows willpower. The sun allows you to have a stability of mind. The sun bestows health. The sun bestows spiritual power. The sun bestows fame and renown. The sun raises vibration. The sun influences the consciousness of humanity. The sun influences the fashion and the temperament of humanity. The sun is the source of all life, the source of all mental peace and mental health, the source of physical health, basically. So, the sun is actually a conscious being, and it can be tapped into spiritually. The sun has an influence on your body. The sun is also found as an element inside of your body, as within, so without. So, strengthening the sun inside of your body will in actuality strengthen the characters that are latent in your birth chart that correspond to the sun. The characteristics of willpower, the characteristics of fame, the characteristics of wealth, the characteristics of peace of mind, the characteristics of high vibration and illumination, and all the characteristics of the sun, basically. So now we go back to that subject where I was talking about soul. Soul, the sun, solar system, meaning the system of the soul, basically. So now that the sun is referred to as the soul, what can it do spiritually? It will raise your vibration to a point whereby you get to realize your true self. You strengthen the sun, you strengthen your soul, or you as a soul's influence over your entire physical life. You vitalize the sun internally, you actually activate that God self of yourself, and then you become illuminated. You understand? So you become aware of your true self, of your true sun, which is inside of you. You understand? It gives you health, it gives you wealth, it gives you fame. Man, trust me when I say, we overlook this deity in the modern day, and this deity has so much influence upon our lives, upon our fashion. You understand? You see what we are wearing. We overlook the sun basically. In every aspect of life, the sun is a contributing factor. The mind becomes too fickle and uncontrollable. Summon the sun for your help. In astrology, Western astrology, I don't know, maybe I haven't went deep enough, but these planets and the sun are to be seen as something external. You understand? They are seen as an energy that can be controlled externally or maybe for magical purposes. But in actuality, the sun and other planets, they have an influence over your internal life, your internal harmony, and are in actuality a part of your internal composition. You understand? What do I mean? The planets are actually building blocks of our DNA, our physical structure, our internal universe. You understand? Suppose you are a vehicle, you need gasoline or petrol to operate. And then obviously we pour into you the required petrol and fuel, basically. It gets inside of you, and then as you move, you actually deplete the fuel. And then as it depletes, it gets to a point whereby it gets exhausted and it finishes off. It depletes basically. So in order for you to move again, you will need fuel again. So the sun, when you strengthen it, it's like a building block inside of you. It's like a bone or a mineral. It's like calcium. When you are deprived of calcium, obviously you'll have pains in your bone. You'll have lesser bone density. So when you are deprived of the sun, you will have lesser mental stability, lesser willpower, lesser spiritual power, lesser health, lesser fame, lesser confidence and self-esteem, lesser protection, and less vitality and life, basically. So it's that simple, and you are that connected to the sun. You understand? So the blessings of the sun, as I've mentioned, fame, health, wealth, vitality, willpower, spiritual power, higher vibration, conscious of true self, many other benefits spiritually, basically. So yes, let me check. I'm checking the notes while I'm doing this because I want to give you something that's proper. So also let me but yes, I've already mentioned that it's health and peace. Yes. So that's how powerful the sun is, basically, for our well-being in this lifetime on this planet. That's how important the sun is to us. So I will also talk about my experience with the sun. As you can see, guys, I look very nice. And if you want to check this for yourself, check out the video where I was talking about the 72 demons of Solomon, and check the videos now. You can see that I look good, basically, and some people have been talking about this, and making me aware of this. Shout out to Elaine Reed and other people who made me aware of this fact. Thank you. But now you know the secret. Om Namah Shivaya. Yes. So let's talk about the sun. Let's continue about the sun. So blessings of the sun are those basically. So now we get into the deeper aspect of the sun. The sun, as I've said, is a conscious entity. Yes, just like Mother Earth, conscious, sentient, and receptive, and in constant communication, whether aware or unaware. We are constantly getting solar flares that are being sent to our planet to raise our vibration unconsciously. Daily, we receive the sun's light daily to sustain our life, which is a form of communication with us and this planet. It's a form of communication. Another form of communication, I've seen Brother Joseph do this, or Bro Joseph. I've seen a video of him whereby he was commanding the sun to actually flicker or blink, and then it actually did in a video. That's another form of communication. You can communicate or command or give order to the sun, and it will respond. Verbally, you can communicate verbally. You can communicate spiritually by way of what? By way of mantras, by way of sun salutations, which is, in my opinion, the best way to derive benefits from the sun, because you have to understand this. And this is what I always tell my mother. When it's dark and gloomy outside, the sun is always there. When it's cloudy outside, the sun is always there. When it's at night, the sun is always there. It's just that how we are facing the sun would determine where the light gets to shine, the light of the sun gets to shine. When it's cloudy, the sun is there to give us light, but then the clouds are closing us from receiving the full light, but we do receive the light of the sun. So the sun also gives us rain, you understand? It gives our crops chlorophyll, it gives us and strengthens our melanin. It also gives us water in the form of rain. That's how important Surya is. Surya, the best way to communicate with Surya is by way of mantras and sun salutations as a beginner, because you will get to the point where you are able to communicate and command, which is relatively easy because you have to do it consistently. I don't think you would take even more than 3 months to do that until you finally are able to give commands to I and I sun. You understand? I'd like to give thanks to the sun. I give thanks to the sun for food. I give thanks to the sun for the rain. I give thanks to the sun for light. I give thanks to the sun for raising our vibration as a planet. I give thanks for the sun and to the sun for vitalizing us with the energy, for giving us health, for giving us wealth, for giving this channel fame and renown. Om Surya Namaha. So let's continue. I've said that this is a sentient being, okay, which is in constant communication. That's where I was before divulging this topic. So now we come back to that. Now that I've said it's a sentient being, now this is the sources that I've learned. This is not what I'm saying, and this is not what I believe and what I know. So I'm just giving you more information on the sun. The sun is said to be a recording center, a giver of information and a receiver of information. It gives out information to the earth and receives information from the earth. You understand? So it's a recording center. There are recording centers which are in the form of planets, in the form of stars, in the form of basically everything, in the form of humans, in the form of stones, mountains, water, you name them. You understand? So the sun is also such. It's a recording center, basically, recording information from the entire planet, and that basically it's another aspect of knowledge recollection and data of the greater creator, which is the true Brahman. You understand? So the sun is also a planet in that aspect. It's also a technology used to record. Remember, I told you that I had a point whereby I got a glimpse of what it is to know the knowledge of God. When my psychic sensor was turned off when I was high of the marijuana cakes. Yes, I've discovered that there's so many things, so much knowledge and information that we are not conscious of. And the greater creator is always aware of this knowledge. The greater creator being our true self. So the greater creator has these kinds of instruments that are recording whether we are aware or not, and having all the data and keeping track of all the data and knowledge that you could ever think of. You understand? So in that aspect, he is able to record and be all-knowing, not in the form of the Black Knight satellite. Now that's a false god. You understand? I am even sure that that God, who is Yahweh, is not aware of the bodily processes or conscious or can't handle such information of his own bodily functions, because it's so overwhelming in to something which has a physical form, basically. I don't even basically, I've been in an astral body, but I don't think you get the same knowledge overload as I had gotten when I was in that state of being high. Because, man, you need a physical body to get so much input and awareness of such a thing, and then you need to switch off your psychic sensor. So even the subtler bodies which are higher, I'm only saying this because some might say that Yahweh, Jehovah, is a subtler aspect of creation, which is not dense as you would see our physical form. But I also say this: he is not able to be aware of the things I was aware of, because that thing is overwhelming. You can't do anything. Maybe he's aware or he can be aware at will, but unconsciously most of the time he's not aware of that stuff. Why I'm saying this? Because he needed a satellite to monitor humanity and its consciousness. So it shows you that still is an imitator, whereas the true creator is actually the sun and all entirety. We are building blocks of the one true creator, both our physical and our true form, basically. So we are the building blocks of I and I, true creator. So very, very powerful, very all-knowing, and yes, you understand. So Yahweh is nowhere near being like that. You understand? So the sun is a recording center, just like all other planets. It is said that the sun, at the surface, ignore the text that I've told you, or keep an open mind and consider this. like I'm considering it, because I'm not confirming it and I'm not sure of it and I don't know of it. It is said that the surface of the sun is habitable, like we are habitable. When you look at the earth, what do you see? You see the clouds, you see the blue water, you see the land, basically. Suppose the entire planet was cloudy. Would you see the inner contents from afar? No. So how about these other planets? What you see from afar is just a facade, or a thing, the outer layer that can be perceived from afar. That is not in actuality the true layer. I'm sorry. Some of you might say that I'm drinking water, and that's not the right pace. Anyway, it's fine. I'm not the human body. So yes, the outer layers of each and every planet, are they the true planet? No, I don't think so, because you can see this as simply as seeing our planet. Suppose the entire planet was cloudy. Would you say that our planet is cloud based? No, it's not. There's an inner surface. So in some books, they say that the inner surface of the sun is actually habitable, but this is actually an aura of the entire planet, which is giving out all these lights and rays to actually illuminate. And when you go into it, you can actually travel and go inside the sun and be able to inhabit the sun. So the form of traveling to the sun, I don't know if it can be done via spaceship, because man, even at 30 degrees Celsius, while I'm busy sailing in the streets, the sun is burning. Even to I and I, as a black man or a brown man, the sun is burning. So going there with a spaceship would be a good idea for suicide. Anyway, yes, traveling in that form, I don't think it's possible. How would you want to travel to such a place? That's where portals and time traveling gets into consideration. Now, someone says when you perform rituals, you get to open portals. For aliens. So when you perform rituals, you open up access to aliens and spirits. So now your sacred space becomes a portal or a traveling tube for such entities. Nonsense. Anyway, let's talk about what we were talking about. So you would have to go there through portals and stargates and all that stuff. You understand? Because it would be impossible to go there by a vehicle, a physical vehicle, that is. So yes, that's what they say about the sun. So solar vitalization, like I said, when you do solar vitalization, you are actually strengthening those aspects of the sun inside of you, the willpower, the fame, and all that stuff. You are strengthening that inside of you. Now, we're talking about Surya Namaskar. Surya Namaskar is a sun salutation which consists of 12 yoga poses or yogic poses that are comprised of forward and backward bends and many other poses to complete the entire salutation. This is very, very powerful. This is very, very powerful. It's very, very powerful. So what are the benefits for Surya Namaskar, the sun salutations? You get beautiful eyes, Bashikaran eyes. You get health, and you get peace of mind. You also activate your subtle body, making way for the Kundalini, the raising of the Kundalini. If you try to raise Kundalini on a body which is not able to sustain that kind of energy, it will find ways to actually leave your body. It might live through sexual desire, through psychosis. Either way, it will leave you with a mental disturbance. So, what do I mean through sexual desire? It will try to live through the lower self, basically. And when it lives through the lower self, I'm sorry, you are doomed. But you are not doomed because you have this information. So the sun salutations help with weight loss, strengthens muscles and joints. It improves your complexion. Fire. It ensures a better functioning of the digestive system, which is true. It helps combat insomnia. It ensures regular menstrual cycle in female. It is useful in treatment of frozen shoulders. Spinal cord and abdominal muscles are also stretched. Internal organs are massaged. It improves flexibility of the hips and the entire body. It stimulates the Manipura chakra, the chakra of power. So if you don't vitalize your sun through mantras and through sun gazing, you get to vitalize it by stimulating the solar plexus, the chakra of power, enhancing those qualities of the sun. So either way, you get benefits, because some of you might say, there's no sun outside, but I will stimulate my Manipura chakra, my chakra of power, with the sun salutation. Anyway, let's go further. It improves balance in the nervous system. Definitely. It balances your physical side of life and the spiritual side of life. It brings about an equilibrium, because if there is no equilibrium, I am sorry, like I said, you are doomed. You can also send me a testimonial of such imbalances, and I can also send you my testimonial, and we'll compare the two, and we will see that it leads to madness. It reduces blood sugar levels, it reduces stress levels, it tones the entire body, it improves digestion and reduces constipation, it eliminates stomach ailments, promotes balance between both sides of the body. Yes, the right and the left side. Like I said, the spiritual and the physical. The right would be the spiritual, the left would be the physical. No, man. Anyway, yes. The Ida and the Pingala, the both nadis. Feminine is spiritual, meaning the moon, and solar is physical, meaning the yang, and the sun, basically. So that's what it does. Surya Namaskar is a very, very powerful thing. I honestly don't know how the Indians did it. It honestly has to come from reptilian gods like Mahadeva. I'm sorry, guys, Indians, I'm not disrespecting you, but it is said that Shiva had very, very, very powerful technology and comes from an advanced society. And the height of Shiva corresponds to the height of the giants that were said to have walked upon the physical earth. So, guys, take this into consideration. There's good reptilian, there's bad reptilian, and I'm sure if I can go further into the research, I will find that Shiva is a Nagadeva. Nagadeva, meaning the god of snakes or the Nagas. So what are the Nagas? I've also found out that sage Patanjali was also a Naga. You understand? What are Nagas? Some of the Americans would say that the Nagas are nigger, another way for nigger. I don't care about that description. Here we are talking about reality. We are talking about something that can be reconciled. Nagas are said to be the snakes, the nation of snakes, basically. What are the nation of snakes? Reptilians. And they say that Shiva has advanced technology. Sage Patanjali of the Yoga Sutras is also a Naga, can be depicted as a Naga. In some instances, you see that he has a body of a Naga, half human, half Naga. Lord Vishnu is also the king of Nagas. You see, guys. You see, guys. But anyway, there's good Naga, there's bad Naga. So, in every aspect of life, you find that dual aspect of life. And yes, anyway, Surya Namaskara is very, very powerful, guys. My well-being now, I give credit to Surya Namaskara. My eyes look nice, I look nice, basically, all because of the sun. I give thanks to the sun for everything, for showing me the true health and peace of mind. The sun, the sun, the sun. Guys, you have to check out the sun. So now we are talking about the mantras of the sun. We have Hram, Hrim, Hraum, Hraim, Hraha, and Hrum as bija mantras for the sun. We also have another mantra, very, very powerful mantra. Om Hram Hrim Hraum Saha Suryaya Namaha. You have many other mantras that you can check for. Pashikaran mantra, meaning the mantra of subjugation or the mantra of fascination, to fascinate entire crowds and populations, to have a renown, a confidence, a strong presence when public speaking. There's mantras for that. You can use this to infatuate a girl, because the thing with me is that everywhere I go, I fascinate the girl. If I go to Pluto, I will make sure I get a girlfriend from Pluto. If I get to the moon, I get a girlfriend from the moon. So the sun will help you with that. The sun can also help you in marriages. If you want to have a peaceful marriage, you can chant the Surya Vashikaran mantra and you will be fine. Yes, I've just given out so many secrets in this thing. So there's offerings for the sun. You can also check for that just by doing a Google search. But the best offering, which is inexpensive, which will be affordable for each and every one of us, each and every day, just at sunrise, you offer water to the sun, Om Sum Suryaya Namaha, and do Surya Namaskara. I did Surya Namaskara, the video that I uploaded of me doing Surya Namaskara. I was actually doing 32 Surya Namaskara that day. I counted like this, but this is how you actually count it. When you do Surya Namaskara for the first time, it constitutes of one round. So that day I had done 8 Surya Namaskara in each and every direction, meaning each and every cardinal point, starting on the east, and then the south, and then the west, and then the north, basically clockwise. I was doing that. So it was 8, 8, 8, 8. When you count it like that, I did 32 Surya Namaskara. But when you count it in rounds, I actually did 16 rounds of Surya Namaskara. And guys, the things that they talk about, it activates your body, and I had a purging out of the system like I had with pranayama last year. But this time, I didn't allow it to even go that far, because last year I did pranayama, I got those effects, and I couldn't do what? I couldn't expel all the toxicity in my body. So it nyammed me, I lost weight, I became sickly for few days, 3 days I think. But this year, as soon as I got that effect, I went inside the house and then I did Vamana Dhauti. I will do a video on Vamana Dhauti and some African herbs that can help you if you are in South Africa to actually further your spiritual journey. And thank you to Efe for making me aware of this. Om Namah Shivaya. Yes, so guys, I did that and I had to vomit and I had to use the enema because now it was very, very bad. So yes, this is what I wanted to talk about regarding my experience with Surya Namaskar. But it's a very, very powerful practice that one needs to incorporate in their daily routine if one aspires to be a yogi or a higher vibrational person. And I also would like to shout out, let me show you this guy over there. There. You see there? Just above Surya, you see Surya just above Hanumanji. There's Surya, and then above Surya there's a very, very powerful Swamiji, Swami Satyananda Saraswati. Very, very powerful Swamiji. I thank you for this knowledge. Wherever you are, please get into contact with me. You have helped me a lot when I was in turmoil. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Thank you for everything. So I'd like to also thank the sun before we conclude this video. Thank you, the sun, for everything. Thank you for giving us light. Thank you for giving us life. Thank you for health. Thank you for the beautiful Vashikaran eyes. Thank you for the confidence. Thank you for the fame that this channel has reached. Thank you to you guys for supporting and subscribing to the channel this far. Thank you to my Indian family who are subscribing and listening to the mantras, even though I am not from India. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for showing me love. Thank you very much. Thank you to the 9 planets. Thank you to the Nagas. Thank you to Mahadeva. Thank you to the other reptilians for giving us very, very powerful knowledge. You have done greater good to humanity, and I'd like to thank you. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Mavid Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.